was at the bottom of my class. I started doing heroin. I went to the top of my class. Suddenly I could sit still and I could read.
Oh, I'm glad you could read. The dude who's now in charge of healthcare in the United States. He just needed to get leveled out with a little bit of heroin and suddenly he could concentrate, not learn. Never that, but concentrate. And now he's in a position to, I don't know, tie one on and go wild on American healthcare, and that's what he's going to do. He just told a room packed with federal health workers, those that remain at this point, that he's planning to, quote, investigate whether the timing of childhood vaccinations and antidepressant medications are among several possible factors in the nation's problem with chronic diseases. Nothing is gonna be off limits for his investigations. He's investigating. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to figure out what he thinks. Oh, he's gonna look into it and then he's gonna decide with an open mind after decades of anti-vax BS. I wonder what he's gonna think. So, if your kids need vaccines or if you're on antidepressants, you might wanna stockpile a little bit because unfortunately, Mr. Heroin Study Break is probably gonna take a pretty dim view on it in the near future. And so he told staff, you need to keep an open mind about all this, okay? We will convene representatives of all viewpoints. Representatives of all viewpoints. Do you know what that means? Crackpot conspiracy theorists, that's what that means. To study the causes for the drastic rise in chronic disease. Some of the possible factors we will investigate were formerly taboo or insufficiently scrutinized. Conspiracy theories, that's what he's saying. Wild conspiracy theories from discredited crackpots, that's it. But don't worry, only your health and life are on the line, so it's fine. And he wants to look into, again, childhood vaccines, which he had said in his in his hearing, I support vaccines. I support the vaccine schedule. I support good science. Lie and lie and lie. That's 3 strikes of lies. But unfortunately, he's not out. He's in, which in this case is much worse. So he lied. And it's too late to do anything about that. Susan Collins, does she feel bad about this? That she was once again duped by one of the people she chose to support? No, he's in that position for 4 years. And he's gonna look into a lot of stuff. Electromagnetic radiation. Alex Jones will be very happy to hear that. Herbicides and pesticides, ultra-processed foods, artificial food, allergies, microplastics, and long-lasting chemicals used in the production of nonstick pans, the PFAS chemicals. And so this is the best of what you get, is you get some stuff that's an actual threat, microplastics, that sort of thing, and then you get absolute loony bin ravings. And I personally think you can just have the actual stuff, the actual science. We could just do that. We don't need to also let loose the asylum and have them run through HHS. But unfortunately, that's what we've got. And a lot of people use this stuff, the vaccines, the SSRIs, and now that stuff is potentially gonna go away. Sharon, what do you think?
He's not just a quack, okay? He believes a lot of the things that he's saying that are just scientifically unsound. And there's other things that a reasonable person can agree with. Nonstick pans and some other things that processed foods, we should clean up. They're hurting our health. But he's not just a quack in these other areas. He's a bit of a charlatan, because I'm concerned about what Senator Elizabeth Warren raised during the confirmation hearings. It's attached to money.
Yep.
And kickbacks, really, legal ones, but kickbacks. And I also think that Susan Collins, who's the easiest senator to dupe, how does she keep getting reelected? Although we do need her a little bit. She's just the easiest person. Why not bring him up for perjury or something? Do something. Just show that you're not gonna be lied to, or you can just sign off on that too. Say, well, it's okay to lie to Congress, we're fine. He's a charlatan. Okay.
100%. Yeah, no, and I'm very glad that you brought that up because I was probably not gonna mention the utter corruption. But he's not just a crackpot. He's not just, running on what's left that the heroin or the worms didn't get rid of already. He's also making money off of this. And that is, again, one of the through lines of this administration is the most wildly corrupt administration perhaps in the history of our country, certainly in the last century. And he stands to make huge amounts of money off of this. Again, when you put the billionaires and the elites in charge, you cannot be surprised when they formulate the government to only advance their own interests. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.